Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today we are on the map Kairos Junction. It's an AlphaStar day, of course. And in the bottom right, we have got none other than AlphaZerg doing its thing. And I'm taking a look on the minimap. You guys might see it there. It depends on how big of a screen you're watching on. What's that little blue dot moving over there? It's a pylon, as we have got a Masters player gonna be doing AlphaStar nice and dirty. This has gotta be proxy gateways if I had to guess. So a Masters Protoss gonna try and cheese out AlphaStar. I dig it. Now, this is something that's pretty interesting. He's got to throw up a gateway. Like, there's literally nothing else he can build. Because, yeah, I want to see what route he's going to take this. Like, is he just going to go, like, mass zealot? Or is he going to, like, throw up a cyber core and then go into, like, a robo and everything like that? I honestly do not know. He sees, though, that it's a normal opening from AlphaStar. Steals some minerals. This probe's probably going to want to try and get away. He actually blocks the spawning pool attempt for a second, which is kind of nice. Pretty critical. And there we go. There is the forge behind this. So it's going to be one of those crazy cheeses which involves a gateway. It involves the forge. I'm curious why he didn't build the gateway at home. I guess he wants to be able to build stalkers and things to continue this proxy. But yeah, this is going to be a big old dirty rush. The pylon is done now, so he can start building a cannon. He's got a zealot on the way, which is going to work wonders for defending this against a probe pull. Like, that's actually instrumental in this case. Or instrumental against a drone pull. AlphaStar actually just straight up cancels that, so then a couple of the pylons can be canceled. The Masters player's throwing up his gases, so he'll be able to start producing whatever he wants. Looks like that there is a drone moving out for AlphaStar now. However, it's going to run right into that zealot, and it's definitely not going to be able to build a hatchery right there. That's a bit unfortunate. So no third hatch or no natural hatch for AlphaStar just yet. The AI is floating a ton of money, as a matter of fact. So AlphaStar is really getting thrown for a loop here. The zealot is trying to do what it can, but so far really good drone micro from AlphaStar. The zealot's just going to be a pain though. Tuck itself into this corner. Force some micro. Looks like one of the drones actually doesn't get microed by AlphaStar and goes down. The zealot will kill off those lings, but then will fall to a drone. So that's rather nice, as this drone angrily sets to work on that. Yeah, this is a little bit odd. The Masters player has to know that there's drones out there that are building hatcheries. This zealot's going to find one of them. However, he is unaware of this other hatchery that's getting up, and AlphaStar is getting up link speed. So I'm quite curious to see how this is going to play out. That hatchery gets canceled. Looks like the zealot is going to be scouting around, but the hatchery that's building is one that was not seen, and is pretty important. So the robo for the Masters player is actually building back at home. So he's just going to macro behind this, which is kind of just mental. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, as AlphaStar does indeed have up that hatchery. It's not like its hatchery was delayed indefinitely, but the AI is really down on drones compared to the probes of the Protoss player. And are we going to be seeing AlphaStar get cheesed out in one of the final matches that we've got? The cannons are really making AlphaStar hesitate. The AI doesn't understand the premise of you either commit or you don't, and so it sort of flip-flops a lot. Like, like you might be like trying to decide what movie to watch or what sort of snack to buy. It's like, oh, what one do I get? It's like, no, you got to just make up your mind. It's life or death for these Zerglings, and the Lings now have speed, so they'll be able to get by that cannon quicker. But there's a shield battery, which will actually heal it up, so it's not just going to be a dead easy break for AlphaStar. And I doubt AlphaStar has been in this situation before. The AI is just going to run right by this, find the zealot, so be able to kill that off. A couple lings get tagged by the cannon. Is there a solid wall off for the Masters player? Looks like yes, there is. There's a battery on the way. Looks like the Immortal is going to be the big dog holding the wall. And then there's a shield battery on the way behind this, a cannon on the way behind this too. The Stalker's probably going to need to get down there to help out against all these Zerglings, as the Immortal won't live forever. Immortals are good, but they're not amazing against this. And I don't know if it's going to live long enough for the shield battery to finish up. I get the feeling that it's not. Another Immortal is about to finish up. It's actually doing an incredible job trading against the Lings, and the battery, it finishes up, and it does save the Immortal. So a beautiful, beautiful hold by the Masters player. He now has 2 Immortals out and alive. Whereas AlphaStar committed to that rush and did not really get anything done. The AI is still working around this. Really doesn't understand that there's a cannon there. Queens are going to come down. They're going to get shoot away constantly. This cannon is at 18 kills. So we're really seeing AlphaStar get used and abused here. So that's really good. That's really good to see. That the Masters player's gone for a build which just really throws AlphaStar off. There's going to be a prism done, so soon these two Immortals can just get lifted up and start terrorizing the Zerg from the skies if he wants to. He's got +1 on the way. Those Lings being indecisive once again, going down. We see 42 Lings have died this game. I'd like to see that Stalker get put in this wall. Looks like it's actually just going to be a straight-up pylon in the wall to ensure that's locked down. The Masters player is at 30 workers, but AlphaStar's starting to catch up, as that's what AlphaStar does best, just make workers in the face of adversity. And yeah, now we see these Immortals are going to be coming down. They're going to start picking off some drones. There are Lings here to try and deal with this. That's going to need to be microed well by the Masters player. These Immortals are now unloading in a very nice spot behind this mineral line. Got to be careful, though, because of the Queens. Yeah, he's doing a good job trading out, but oh, he's got to be careful. Okay, he grabs that Queen of the Natural, so the Immortals are safe hanging out in the Prism. Mining has been denied quite a bit. The Lings aren't able to do too much against this. The Prism's going to actually find this hatchery out here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Immortals are able to kill it. And behind this, the Masters player is starting to float a bit of money. This is where I'm actually getting a bit concerned. Like, is he actually doing enough damage to justify the lack of macro he's going for? But oh, this guy is after my own heart. Throwing up double Stargate behind this dirty cheese, just taking the cheese to the next level. I'm gonna keep unloading these Immortals, start working away on this hatchery, and what a great game we've got here. As AlphaStar will lose its third base, the AI is just making roaches in this situation, but yeah, the Masters player is really taking a lead. And soon enough, he's gonna have double Stargate production. He's gonna have +1, and he's got a couple more Immortals done back at home. And what's he gonna go into? Like, Void Rays? I think he definitely can. He's got Immortals now, which are working against Roaches, which is just a darn good time for the Immortals. This cannon still hasn't been cleaned up. Looks like the pylon may be unpowered finally, but oh, the Ravager's even derping about a little bit. The Immortals are killing off the drones, which is really painful for AlphaStar, and I think the Masters players actually got this one. AlphaStar has kind of been cheesed out this time. Well done. Well done, Masters player. Taking down the final iteration of AlphaStar. Looks like he might get the hatchery, not quite. He's just got to pop down one of those Immortals for one more shot and he'll get it. Looks like he gets it, saves the Immortal. Nicely done. AlphaStar is rebuilding a hatchery over here, but it ain't good for AlphaStar. There's the two Void Rays on the way, so I don't see the Masters player dying if AlphaStar decides to go for a big attack, which it looks like the AI is going for. Not to mention there's 3 Immortals sitting back here, which are just going to be able to cut up pretty much anything that runs at them. These Immortals going to unburrow or unload, try and be a pain. And now there's 4 Immortals. Oh my gosh, yeah. The AlphaStar is totally dead. What a great game by the Masters player, just showing us that you can cheese out AlphaStar. It's got to be a little unique. That pylon and cannon were finally cleaned up, but super duper late. AlphaStar is long-distance mining from this mineral patch, even though it doesn't have a hatchery, interestingly enough. Does it know that it can now take its natural if it wants to? I'm unsure. Now it'll transfer the drones here, however. But still, yeah, look at this. There's 2 Void Rays out. There's going to be 2 Oracles on the way behind this, where there's virtually 0 anti-air. 1 Queen for the Masters player. She's got her work cut out for her, and she's actually down to 59 HP, so that's not very good at all now, is it? We see the Void Ray working away on a Ling or 2. Another one moving out. AlphaStar is still just mining at this hatchery, and yeah, I don't know what to say. This Void Ray is working away on that Ravager. Looks like it does get picked off. Just being a pain. Armor's now on the way for the Masters player. Okay. Yeah. Void Ray gonna kill off the Spore Crawler. There's really nothing to contest it here. The drones are just gonna be a victim. Another Spore Crawler gets cancelled. And I think we're just watching a real slow death from AlphaStar this match. I mean, the AI really can't commit in here. as it knows it can't take this fight. Looks like it is going to try and wrap around some of the Zealots, and then the Oracles activate their pulsar beams. The Foracles, by the way, the Void Ray has forced the abandonment of this hatchery, and AlphaStar just dies. It just taps out. It loses the will to live after such dirty cheese, and so we've actually got a game which the Masters player is going to take it. And yeah, that means that we might actually have a full best of 3 for this one, so that's exciting, and I'll get us into the next game. Okay, so I guess the big dog decided to come out for this one, as we have got a Grandmaster Protoss gonna be taking on AlphaStar. We just had the exact same matchup, a PvZ. The Masters player was able to take down AlphaStar. Now, will a Grandmaster be able to? And he's already off to an interesting start with a pylon on the high ground. So, are we gonna be seeing the AI get cheesed out twice? I don't know, but that is an interesting pylon placement. Not really one that's for an ideal wall, I don't believe, but... oh well, let's see, is it gonna be a forge? We got us a forge. Okay, poor AlphaStar just getting abused. And yeah, the AI just getting abused. I apologize, my mouse on the fritz a little bit, but it's good now. We've already got a pylon going up for the Grandmaster player, so he's gonna be tossing up 2 of those. Looks like AlphaStar will find that. Looks like a couple of drones are going to be getting pulled against this. The pylon gets canceled. However, it's the bamboozle. There's a gateway building right behind it. There's probably going to be a cannon, I bet, tucking into that corner to ensure that that can't be killed off. We'll see. AlphaStar elects to throw up the hatchery again. However, doesn't know again about this cheese. It does not see this. It sees 2 probes. So if it was a human player, it would definitely know that something's wrong, and it does, as that hatchery was under attack and it cancels it. One of the probes is now electing to follow that drone, however. We see AlphaStar just going to be getting cheesed out again. Oh man, what a video if this is just going to be the AI getting 2-0'd by crazy cheese like that. Of course, we can't count out AlphaStar just yet, but it's not in a great spot. This probe is probably not going to let a hatchery get up successfully, and so the AI is kind of trapped on one base, as we've seen happen in the past. And now there's a cyber core on the way back at home for the Grandmaster player. And he placed his pylon a little bit inwards, so he could get a solid wall off with it. And yeah, he's just doing his thing behind this. He's getting a cyber core. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a robo get tossed on up. Looks like the Lings are crossing the map for AlphaStar, but they're not really going for the counterattack right away. And there can always be a cannon thrown up by the Grandmaster player, and there it is, as he waits. But for what I assume is just for his Twilight to finish up, then it's probably going to be a robo. I'm willing to bet it's going to be a robo. And do we have a robo? Oh, where is it? Okay, it's going to be a Stalker before a potential robo. Stalker works too, of course, with shield batteries. They can be very effective. The Grandmaster player hasn't seen that AlphaStar has started to get this base out to the side. At the same time, though, the AI does have a very hard time dealing with these midpoint wall-offs, as that its units run by the cannons, that it's not used to being there. And yeah, now we take a look. There's going to be this Stalker working away on this hatchery. So I guess that the Grandmaster player did see the drone head down there. There is an Overlord, which could get picked off by this Stalker. That would be nice. AlphaStar really can't afford to be replacing those at this point. When it's trying to get up Ravagers to hold this off, and Ravagers are definitely a step in the right direction to holding off this kind of aggression. But yeah, Overlord's dead, so it's going to have to replace that sooner rather than later. We see there's the 2 Stalkers, though, which are going to engage the Ravagers, going to start bullying these units. They can always retreat back to the shield battery. And soon enough, there'll be an Immortal on the way out behind this, I imagine. AlphaStar is throwing up 5 drones, interestingly enough. The AI is just going to keep droning up no matter the situation. The Stalkers are going to work away on this hatchery. They're going to find one of these drones that pops on out. That'll get killed off. Yes, it will. Ravagers step forward to toss down corrosive balls on this cannon. However, there is about to be an Immortal out. There are the shield batteries to heal this up. This does look to be a much better hold, or a much better reaction than the previous match that AlphaStar did, so at least we see it doing the proper Ravager play you're supposed to do against this. But the problem is there is now an Immortal out, and Immortals are just so darn good against Ravagers. when they can just retreat to a shield battery. Queens are now being worked away on by the Stalkers. No unit losses yet for AlphaStar, which is quite good. As the Protoss player retreats to his shield batteries to get his units healed up, he tosses down another, seeing that those are running out of juice. The Immortal is going to engage one of these Ravagers again. At the same time, whereas the Grandmaster player has got his shield batteries to heal his units, AlphaStar does have the Queens, which can drop down transfuses to help out. There's now a Prism out, however, which is really going to help out the Grandmaster player. He can micro these units with this. Looks like he's actually just going to grab himself an Overlord, which is good. He's going to go toe-to-toe with these Ravagers now, pick off a Roach. The Prism is going to have to get out of there, however, as units are going to be shuttled down, and they stay alive as they get back to that. But the problem is for AlphaStar that it's still not been able to break this position. The Immortal count's going to grow. There'll be more batteries and everything. And it just gets harder and harder for the Zerg to deal with. Now this natural base is going to be under pressure. The Queen, she's running away. The drones are they're just going to be forfeit and die. And this Roach who popped out is popping out on the wrong side of town. Ravagers try and break this position, but there's an Immortal ready to greet them. The Corrosive Vials are going down, but not enough to be able to break this. And yeah, AlphaStar misrallying a few Roaches as it tends to do in situations like this. I don't know. The AI is trying its best to break this. There's so many Corrosive Vials being tossed down. Roaches and Queens are now coming down to engage into this. AlphaStar may be able to go for a big break. Like, there's like 6 or 7 Ravagers here. That's enough to Corrosive Vial down a cannon, a shield battery, all in one volley, which is very good. And so far, we are seeing really good micro from AlphaStar. The 2 Immortals are doing what they can. The Stalkers are doing what they can. There's another Stalker warping in. There's another Immortal on the way, however, which is going to complicate things for AlphaStar, just having to deal with more Protoss math. The Protoss players stepping forward. The Cannons are even helping out. Slowlings rallying out. Stalkers are having to get picked up and avoid Corrosive Vials, and they've actually eaten some, so one of the Stalkers goes down. The Immortal actually eats Corrosive Vial, but AlphaStar is pushed back for now. However, the numbers of the Protoss player were thinned out. Looks like we are going to be seeing the Grandmaster player now step down towards that hatchery, but then step off. We see the Ravagers are going to come forward, toss down Corrosive Vial. They're not actually Corrosive Vialing down the cannons, though, which seems to be a mistake. At the very least, hitting those cannons eats up the shield battery's energy, and the Grandmaster player does seem to be holding on. It's been much, much closer than the last game. The AI seems to have a more solid grasp on what to do in this situation, but it is Immortals and Stalkers against this. And with the shield battery support, it's just really hard for AlphaStar to break. The main thing is that it's just Corrosive Vialing the ground, which can be dodged. It's not actually hitting the batteries. It hasn't been hitting the cannons and things like that. More Corrosive Vials are going down. The Protoss player is just going to step forward with these units. Going to eat some Corrosive Vials, it looks like. A lot of the Stalkers are getting softened up, but there's just been big losses on the Zerg side. There's not that much left. Roaches are misrallied out once again. AlphaStar making that mistake. More Lings are now on the way for the Grandmaster player, or for AlphaStar, but the problem is the Grandmaster player does have out 3 Immortals still. I guess he lost 1 somewhere along the way, but I don't know if AlphaStar will be able to break this. It's going to try, but it's doing that hesitating thing, which is making it bleed off units. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. AlphaStar is eventually going to run out of steam too, as the main base is starting to mine on out. That extra hatchery isn't doing too much, and if we take a look, the Grandmaster player's actually snuck up a Nexus while this is going on, so he is sitting pretty. He's happy to play this out in the longer game. AlphaStar is trying to break this when the Grandmaster player is working away on that hatchery, and a couple of the cannons do go down, but the problem is, if we take a look at the numbers now, it's just not looking too good. There's, what, like 3 Ravagers against 4 Immortals? That isn't a good trade. AlphaStar, if it was to break this, I think it would need to maybe pull the drones to break this, or it should have done that instead of just taking these trades constantly. Now these Ravagers, the Roaches are trapped out. They're going to die, and with those dying, there's no way AlphaStar can come back against this composition. The Corrosive Vial attempts are constant. But yeah, I think we're actually going to be seeing a 2-0, but in reverse. As humanity able to cheese out AlphaStar, getting a win in one of these videos, one of the final videos. I think after this replay, there's going to be like, what, 8 matches to go? Something like that. But we do take a look. The Grandmaster player doesn't want to push up the ramp to try and finish this game, but he's pretty confident as he's throwing up a fleet beacon, throwing up an extra Stargate. Who knows, maybe we'll see a mothership or something like that. But yeah, this is looking mighty, mighty fine for the GM player as we wait for AlphaStar to GG. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Hit that like button if you enjoyed this match. Hit that like button for humanity maybe getting one of its last wins in this series. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. There's also the membership link down below, which there's various perks you can get. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. Yeah, we'll just wait as the immortal count grows. AlphaStar's got 12 roaches out, but with the creep spread being shut down, it can't collapse on top this easily. There's a third Nexus going down now for the Grandmaster player. He's just having a hoot. Protoss players in general just enjoy this kind of thing. I would know, as I sometimes do BS like this myself. If AlphaStar was a human, I think it definitely would have rage quit by now. Just been like, oh, I hate this game so much. Force Field secures kills on a queen on some roaches. The Grandmaster player is going to take the game. GG gets called. I've already done the intro, so ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.